is involved in computing the stream function. Then third is the implementation of simple weather and climate model. And the WRF is the one which we shall be working with. Then we shall be trying to simulate the idealized cases. Okay. For example, flow over topography. Just a minute.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Who is that?
It is recording
Sir
already.
Shivam.
Oh, we already recording already. Okay. So who has come in between?
Sir Shivam.
Shibam has come. Okay. और अभी भी दो नहीं है शायद. Gitesh and Avni, they are still missing, right? Okay, so fine. So and then we shall try to go to the real-time situation, real cases situation, and for which we shall try to see how to quiz the data, get the data, etc. What kind of data is required for that. So the prerequisites for the practicals, as I mentioned last week also, are number one, you must have Linux loaded on your laptop. Everybody has a Linux loaded except Avni. She told me that she had some problem, but today she has not come. And she said that she will be able to sort it out within a few days. So I hope she has done it. Then you must have the knowledge of Fortran, C or C++. And I know that C and C++ you have learned last semester. Fortran also you are learning this semester. And you already attended those video lectures of the NPTEL. And plus, side by side, you will be working here in this class also. Then you must have a good knowledge of some graphics package, for example, GRADS or Car graphics, RIP, Vapor, etc. Anyone will do. Now, for this semester, for this practical class, anyone graphics package knowledge will be fine. Okay, and if you have learned GRADS, that's okay. There are many features you might not have explored in GRADS, which you will be exploring in this semester. And then you must have the basic knowledge of dynamic meteorology and the NWP, right? The science part of it. All of us where there's the tools, whether it's a laptop or Linux or Fortran or graphics package, they're all just tools only. But the last one is the actual science part of it, the dynamic meteorology and the NWP, knowledge of the two subjects. Okay. So last week we already mentioned for the computation of dynamics, and you know the formula already, right? And you know what is divergence. Okay, formula is given here. Divergence is equal to del u by del x plus del u by del y. Okay. The same thing can also be represented in Z or coordinate system. And this diagram illustrates the wind fills in a divergent motion, and this is the convergence. Right? This is the left side is the divergence, and the right side is the convergence. Okay, and then I asked you that you should try to use the finite difference method to compute the divergence. Okay, over a grid point, over a domain, and I told you that you can have a domain. Initially, I thought that maybe a smaller domain will do, but later on, because we felt that we can use the error data, and error data is 0.25 resolution. So 100 kilometer by 100 kilometer domain probably will not be sufficient. Maybe we can have a larger domain. That's what we discussed. And assuming that this is your domain, these are the grid points. Okay, where you have got the values of u and v defined at all these points. Okay, so since divergence is equal to del u by del x plus del u by del y, which is approximately can be represented in terms of the finite difference discretization. Okay, at any point I and j, say for example, let us say this point P, center point P, which is I and j. Okay, so at this point, this divergence del u by del x plus del v by del y can be represented as delta u by delta x plus delta v by delta y, considering infinitesimally small grid size. Okay, assuming that, and this can be written in terms of the finite difference technique in this way. Del u can be represented as u at I plus 1, that is this point, minus u at I minus 1, this point, divided by the grid distance, which is, this is delta x, so this is 2 delta x. Are you able to see the diagram clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
So this is grid distance delta x. Okay, so from here to here is 2 delta x. So del u by del x at this point, at this central point ij, can be represented as u at I plus 1 minus u at I minus 1 divided by 2 delta x. And similarly, del v by del y can be represented at this central point as v at j plus 1 at this point minus v at j minus 1 at this point divided by this distance 2 delta y. Right? So the same thing is written here. So divergence, okay, at this point, now representative of this central point is equal to u wind, u component of the wind at the location A or the grid point A minus u at the grid point B divided by 2 delta x plus v component, the meridional component at this location C, BC minus BD at this location divided by 2 delta y, right? So this is exactly the divergence, right? And this is valid for this central point, okay? Now you will first compute at this central point, or you can start with the lower left corner, for example, this point. You can start at this point, okay? But at this point, now this is which type of difference scheme? Can you tell me? This finite difference form, which is written here,
Central difference.
Central difference.
exactly. This is central difference, right? This is fine now at this central grid point, but if when you are computing at this point, then you cannot use this central difference scheme because you do not have the value over here, which is b at say I minus 1, j minus 2, assuming that this will be j minus 2, and you don't have the value here now. So for the starting point at the lower left corner, you cannot use the central difference scheme, isn't it? And for that, you have to use the forward difference only, right? And you know what is forward difference? You have studied, right, last semester?
Yes, sir.
So if you use the forward difference formula here, then del u by del x at this point can be represented as u at this point minus u at this point divided by delta x, isn't it? Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So using the forward difference technique, del u by del x at this point will be u at this point minus u at this point divided by delta x. And similarly, the del v by del y now at this point will be using the forward difference technique, v at this point minus v at this point divided by delta y, right? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
So first you will compute the divergence, at this point. Then you will march forward to the next point. And so that means you have to put it into a loop, do loop, right? The Fortran, you must have studied the utilization of do loop, how to use the do loop, isn't it? And that's
Yes,
what the practicals are here. So you will, in the do loop, you will move the index to this point then. Now at this point, although you can compute the divergence, I mean the first term, del u by del x, using the central difference because you have got the value here, you have got the value here. But del v by del y you cannot compute because you still don't have the value here, right? I at j minus, this is the I at I minus, this is the j point, so this will be j minus 1 point. This side is j. No, this is I minus 2 point. Below will be I minus 2 because this is I. This is I. This is I. Okay, so this will be actually, this is I minus 1. This is I plus 1. So you are going one step below, right? So this will be j minus 2 here because this is j minus 1. Is it clear to you? This is j.
Yes, sir.
This is j. So this is j minus 1. So this y here somewhere there will be j minus 2, right? And this is the j plus 1. right? Next, above there will be j plus 2. So here the problem is delta y del y by del v by del y you cannot compute here using the central difference because you don't have the value here. So here also you have to use the forward difference for the meridional wind. Okay, now you have a choice. Either you use forward difference at the boundary for all the boundary points, this problem will occur. All the points at the boundary. Now this problem occur because you cannot use freely this central difference scheme, right? But at the midpoints, of course, this is only a small grid I'm illustrating with the 9 points. But when you have a big grid like hundreds and hundreds of points, then you will have many points for which you can utilize easily the central difference. But at the boundary, you cannot use the central difference. You will have to use either the forward difference if you are using this boundary, or you have to use the backward difference if you are using this boundary. Right? Similarly, at this boundary, you have to use the forward difference, backward difference, and at this point, you have to use the forward difference for the V. So, are you able to get my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is just an illustration that how by using the finite difference technique, you can compute this partial differentiation. Okay, del u by del x plus del v by del y at all the points. So what generally you have to do in the computer program is that you start with the lower order and then you march forward in this direction towards east. So you compute here, then you compute there, then you go to the next point, compute there. So once this is completed, you have computed the value of del u by del x and del v by del y at all these points, then you will go to the next point, okay, on this line. So here again you will compute the same del u by del x plus del v by del y. Then you go to the next point, do the same. Then go to the next point, do the same. Okay, so both these lines have been computed. Then you march forward to the next line. Again, compute here, compute there, compute there. So this is how you have to design your program with Fortran code using all your whatever knowledge of do loop, etc., etc. Okay, so I mentioned last week that let us say if you are using a ERA data, download the methodological data ERA, okay, or NCEP or any other data. Okay, that is your first step. Then consider the domain. Let's say a domain of 1,000 kilometer by 1,000 kilometer. Okay, because your ERA data has a resolution of minimum 0.25. Generally, it is 1 degree, but interim data, interim ERA can be 0.25. So that is 25 kilometers. Therefore, you have the value of u and v at all these points. Okay, all these points in this domain. All right, and let us assume that grid distance is delta x, delta y. Although in this diagram it looks the rectangular grid looks that delta x is not equal to delta y, but assume that delta x and delta y are same. Okay, and which is 25 kilometers as per the ERA data. Okay, so as I just explained to you in the previous slide, that you will start at this point, compute del u by del x plus del v by del y, then go to the next point, okay, and then go to the next point, and so on. You keep going ahead and compute the del u by del x plus del v by del y at all these points. That means you have got the divergence value at all these points. Okay, then you move to the next do loop, move the index j and compute at this point j plus 1, then at this point and this point, and so on. At all these points you will compute, and like that you will go ahead and compute all these let us say these are all latitudes. Okay, they are all latitudes and they are all longitude points. So you will go to the next latitude and then go to the next latitude, go to the next latitude, and like that you will do the calculation for all those latitudes. So in this way, you will be able to compute the divergence at all points on this grid point. But note that as I just said that inside this inner points, at all these inner points, you can use easily the central difference scheme. At this point, all these are the inner points, isn't it? And at all these points, you can use the central difference scheme. Is that clear? At all these points, you can use the central difference because you have got the value here, value there, value there, and value there. Right? So that all these points, inside the domain, you can use the central difference scheme. But at the boundary, see at the boundary, you cannot use the central difference. So you have to use either forward or backward difference. At this boundary, you have to use the forward difference because you don't have the value here, backward. And at this point at this boundary, you will use the backward difference because you don't have the value here. Similarly, at this boundary, you can use the forward difference, and at this boundary, you will use the backward difference. Are you able to understand what I am trying to say? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? You can ask. If they are clear, tell me.
Sir, if will there be any difference if we use all forward difference method at the boundaries instead of using at the interior points the central difference method?
I am not able to recognize your voice. Who is that?
Sir, Shiny, sir.
Shiny. Okay, great. Yeah, good question. Now the point is, you have studied right last semester that there is a difference in the accuracy of using central difference or forward difference or backward difference. If you remember, we mentioned that the central difference is almost 4 times accurate than the forward and backward difference. Do you remember that? You also done the expression to prove that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So central difference is supposed to be more accurate than the forward and backward, right? And also stability wise, later on you will find that central differences are relatively stable. Okay, because here you are doing all the numerical computation, right? Numerically you are trying to calculate the partial differential equation, isn't it? Compute the partial differential equation. So you have to be worried about the stability of the scheme and the accuracy also. You have to be concerned for that. So generally, that is the way that all the inner boundary points we use the central difference, but at the boundary we use either the forward or the backward, depending upon which boundary we are talking about. So does that clarify your doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
great. And any other doubt, question? Since nobody is saying anything, so I assume that now everything is clear. And I hope that by this time everybody had joined. Or still Gitesh has not come. Gitesh, are you there? No.
No, sir. Gitesh and Avni is not there, sir.
Gitesh and Avani has not come yet. So all right, then you will miss. And today's class is continuous class. So anyway, I hope you will join. But these things are important, which I have just explained to you, and all of you will have to understand this. Okay, so this is for the computation of divergence and divergence, basically, and convergence, of course, divergence or convergence. The next is for the vorticity, but that exercise we shall do later. Let us complete first the divergence. Once you are able to compute the divergence, the concept will be clear, right? Then you will find that easily you can compute the vorticity also after that. So first exercise is computation of divergence or convergence. Okay. So with this now, all these things I have already told you actually in the last class itself, last week, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I just repeated it for your clarification. Now, if you have any further doubt, that I just repeated. Now, what I will do is I will come back to you one by one and ask you, what did you do in the last 1 week or in the last practice class? What kind of problem you are facing? Sayoni, first starting with Sayoni. Did you make any attempt? Sayoni, can you switch on your video?
Yes.
Yeah, can
Yes,
you
sir.
switch on your video? Yeah. So just switch on your video. Okay. So what problem you faced? Did you attempt the computation, writing code? Or
Yes,
not
sir.
attempt?
Sir, I tried it, but it's showing error. Actually, I cannot understand how to use the data in it. I downloaded the era interim data.
Okay. Okay, well, the point is, in the Fortran code, which you might have studied, did you try to access a data from a file or read data from any file in a Fortran code from the book of Raja Raman, Fortran programming? Did you do any exercise? The exercise is given in the book at the end of each chapter. In that exercise, did you try to do exercise which permitted or which asked you to read data from a given file? Did you do any exercise like that? No? Probably you're not sure. Suppose a file is given to you in which some data
Hello.
is given. Hello, are you able to hear me? No, I think, oh sorry, probably my mic has become mute. Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, okay, you can hear me. Okay, fine. So, Sayoni, are you able to hear me clearly? No,
Hello.
no. I think the others are able to hear me. I don't know what happened to your mic or that speaker. What I was saying is that okay, I know who has heard me clearly. Tell me. Gitesh has come. It seems.
Yeah.
Who has heard me clearly? Hartasri, have
So
you
we
heard
all
me?
can hear you. Yes.
Yes, we can all hear you.
So what I was saying is that in the Fortran book, in one of the exercises, you should have done an exercise in which you were supposed to read data from a file. Suppose you have a file which contains data, a two-dimensional field.
Yes, sir, we have done it. Sir,
Ah.
but reading from NC file is different, sir. It needs NetCDF plus Fortran library.
Or reading from the NetCDF.
Yes, sir, we're reading from the NetCDF file, so that one needs NetCDF plus Fortran, one library. So I'm facing problem there only. I don't have a problem with the code.
Okay.
Yeah, with while reading the NC file, like that part alone, I had to take it from online. I didn't find that. But just reading a file from normal file is different. So this one NC from NC file is quite different.
Right,
So,
that is in NetCDF format.
so
One way, yeah,
in the
one way.
library, yeah, we have to download a library and we have to compile that. And there I'm facing some problem.
What kind of problem you are facing?
Yes, sir. Otherwise, the code is okay. Like the differentiation part is okay for me.
Okay, but what kind of problem that you are facing in that NetCDF Fortran?
So it's not able to find an HCDF.mod file. It's not able to open. It's able.
I mean, you have been able to install NetCDF on your laptop?
Yes, sir. I have, and it is installed, but it's not able to locate it. That is the problem.
It's not able
Yes,
to
sir.
locate.
Sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. It's not
Yes,
able
sir.
to.
Sir, even I am facing the same problem, sir.
Oh, it is not able to locate the NetCDF, you are saying? Is that what your question? It is not able to locate the NetCDF. Is that the question?
HCDF.mod one file. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The NetCDF library, you must have installed somewhere in home user lib somewhere, right? User lib somewhere.
Yes.
And have you exported that file in your dot profile? Because whatever library you install, whether GRADS or any software, that has to be exported in such a way that it should be accessible from all the directories, all the path. Have you given
Yes,
the path?
Yes, sir. I have.
You have given.
Yes, sir.
And can you share me your screen, the Linux screen? Can you share me?
Yeah, sir. I've written it in different two programs. One just for reading the NC, and one with this thing. I'll share the screen, sir.
I mean, no. I mean, you are now interacting through your Linux mode, or you are interacting through the.
Yes, sir. Linux only, sir.
Okay, Linux only. So from the Linux mode, you will be able to share your screen, no?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
can you show me the screen?
Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Okay. this is the challenge, practical conducting a practical class through this online mode.
Yes, sir. So for me, it's showing that errors. Like it's
So
showing that it's not
share with the screen.
Sir, you'll have to stop presenting for me to.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay.
No, it's not necessary. Harita, you can share your screen with Sir's screen also.
Anyway,
Okay.
I can
Yeah,
stop the presentation. So stop presentation. Okay, and now you can share me your screen. I will stop the presentation. Okay. Yeah, now I can see your screen. Can everybody see our screen?
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Read NetCDF. No such file. That I heard you are getting. Do you have to type every time or you can just recall your command? You should be able to recall your command. No?
This is my error, sir. Can't open module file.
Can't open module file netcdf.mode.
Yeah.
But this
Then
is
I
the one for reading at one. No such file or directory. Comparison terminated. So that means your netcdf.mode, which you have installed, right? This is the one which you have installed.
Yes, sir.
So that is where it is installed. You just say command where is netcdf.mode. So the path. Is it showing the path?
Yes, sir. It is showing the path.
This is the path. But in this path, okay, it is showing the path from this directory. While we're reading at this. So I believe this should be accessible to all your subdirectories. But if you just say netcdf.mode, then saying that it is not able to locate that. Somehow I feel that probably this has to be exported. It has to be exported.
Yes,
from
sir.
it.
I have tried.
You've done that?
Sir, one of the yeah.
Yeah. And now this exporting thing have to be done through your dot batch.
Bash. Yes, sir.
Dot batch things.
Yes, sir.
Actually, long ago I did all these things, so I have forgotten many things now. What is that you're doing? Okay.
My bash.
Where is that? Let's see if
it's an HCDF.
Export this, okay, NetCDF, okay. And this NetCDF mode, that is a part of this NetCDF library. Or do you have to export it separately also?
That is what I'm doubt to, sir.
So maybe you can try that also.
Yeah, I'll try that also.
That you try. And the other thing is, suppose that's should be possible to resolve it, but otherwise, we can simply use a binary data also. Just artificially generated binary data you can use. This ERA data is for is in the NetCDF format, right? And when you are directly using the grads to plot it, then the grads has the provision to read the NetCDF file, right? And then you can also compute directly from the grads itself the Databases Vodacity. That's how it does. But separately also, you should be able to read the NetCDF data or convert it into binary. Okay, actually the thing is that I don't have access to system here.
Yes, sir. So if I clear this, then I can read it directly from NC. So I'm trying that way to clear this error. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me also talk to other people. Adivasi, you were sharing your screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is page 37. And go to the top of this. Go to the top of the program. Okay. So this is a program which computes kinematics omegas using a triangular method. Note that the observations need to be specified in the vertical yield. It will use 100 milliwatt here, and the layers are separated by check LNQ 9914. Also note that each layer must have at least 3. Okay, this is.
So, but here, yeah, a part of the program they have calculated. But see, like they are reading it from the user.
Read, okay. So read latitude, longitude, pressure level, then direction and speed.
Yes.
Right?
And here, here they're calculating the divergence on vorticity.
Right, exactly. So basically, you have to have these values in a file, right? You have to have these values in a file.
Yes. Yes, sir. We have everything in the file. Yeah.
So these values, you can just create your own file. Now, I was saying that 10 point by 10 points file, in which at each point you define its latitude, what is latitude, okay, and well, there are many ways. Either you can read the latitude longitude, or you can define latitude longitude, and then pressure level. Assuming that they are all at the same pressure level. Okay. So that also will be common. Only thing is that you have to have the direction and wind speed. The values of direction and wind speed at all the points. And once you have that, then you can use this program. This is a very small program for computation of the divergence vorticity. Only this part basically. So, well, other way is that I will have to work out for you some small examples, and then you can take it from there. Another way is that on an Excel sheet, you can fill up, say, the data of directly either U and V or wind direction and wind speed. Maybe you can directly fill up the data of U and V, that's more easier. Now, say you have got 10 columns by 10 rows in Excel sheet, okay, and then in each of those rows and column, you just fill up some imaginary values of U and imaginary value of V. Okay, export that into your Fortran code and then read that file. Is that clear what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, That way also another way you can try in that way. So that you have a small domain, and then over that small domain you can use this program which is given in that Krishnamurti's book or book. So that is another way. So will you be able to do that, or shall I have to do the exercise for you? और जो आउटपुट फाइल तुमने कहाँ पे लिखा नहीं, ऐसे स्क्रीन पे लिख दिया। आउटपुट को भी तो तुम किसी फाइल में लिख सकते हो ना।
सर आउटपुट, यस सर, सर आउटपुट अभी आएगा सर, देखिए सर आउटपुट
तो स्क्रीन पे तो आ जाएगा। अभी तुमने जो दिया है प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट उसे तो स्क्रीन पे आ जाएगा।
यस सर,
लेकिन तुम उसको फाइल में भी लिखवा सकते हो ना।
यस सर,
या यू कैन राइट दैट इन द फाइल itself, बिकॉज़ अभी तो 2-4 वैल्यू होंगे तो स्क्रीन पे आ जाएगा। लेकिन बहुत सारे वैल्यू तो स्क्रीन पे काम नहीं चलेगा ना।
यस सर। सर इनपुट फाइल सर मैं दिखा रहा हूँ आपको।
तुमने इसको कोई एरे वगैरह कुछ डिक्लेयर नहीं किया है, जस्ट वन पॉइंट।
यस सर, ये इनपुट फाइल है सर।
So just a 1 point, single point.
I just wrote the counting sir. Yes sir, 1 to 10.
So actually ठीक है, very skeleton thing, but इसमें क्या है कि कोई array नहीं है, you have to define the array. Suppose एक मैट्रिक्स तुमको डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा ना। सपोज 5 by 5 और 10 by 10 मैट्रिक्स, और उस 10 by 10 5 by 5 मैट्रिक्स की तुमको डेटा को पढ़ना पड़ेगा ना, 2 डायमेंशनल। जैसे तुमने अभी एक कॉलम डेटा दिया है, यहाँ पे तुम्हारा डेटा जो इनपुट फाइल है, तुमने 1 to 10 तुमने एक डेटा दिया है, जस्ट वन कॉलम, राइट। और तुमने कहा कि रीड du एंड dv, तो पहला वैल्यू को du लेगा, दूसरा वैल्यू को dv लेगा, राइट।
यस सर।
तो इस तरह से पेयर में लेगा, पेयर में लेकर के, सो यू हैव गॉट 5 पेयर बेसिकली, 5 पेयर ऑफ du एंड 5 वैल्यू ऑफ dv, राइट। इस तरह से कैलकुलेट कर लेगा वो। और उसके बाद तुम जब उसको कहोगे कंप्यूट करने के लिए, तो तुमको जो आउटपुट फाइल है, आउटपुट फाइल तुमने सेव किया नहीं है, तो स्क्रीन पे दिखाओ कैसा दिख रहा है
आउटपुट। सर मैं सर आउटपुट फाइल को अलग करना सर, वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया सर, आप क्या बोल रहे हैं?
तुम अभी जो हमारा जो प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट है, प्रिंट स्टार कॉमा डी, तो क्या प्रिंट कर रहा है उसको दिखाओ।
ओके सर। दिस वन।
तुम्हारे पास 2 वैल्यू इसने प्रिंट कर दिया, राइट।
यस सर।
एंड those 2 values are actually same, almost yeah exactly same.
यस सर।
और एक्चुअली अगर इसमें देखा है तुम्हारा डेटा जो था 5 पेयर था, तो कम से कम 5 वैल्यू होने चाहिए था, लेकिन इसमें सिर्फ 2 ही वैल्यू दिख रहा है। तो इस आई मीन यू हैव डन समथिंग, बट दैट इज नॉट कंप्लीट। अभी तुमको करना क्या पड़ेगा कि जैसे तुम्हारा ये स्टार्टिंग में तुम्हारा जो प्रोग्राम है, रियल,
यस सर,
dx डिवाई du dv d, और dx डिवाई तो ठीक है, सिंगल वैल्यू है, क्योंकि वैल्यू ना डेल्टा x डेल्टा y, राइट। लेकिन d और dv जो है और d, ये तीनों जो है, सो दैट शुड बी 2 डायमेंशनल फिल्म, राइट, 2 डायमेंशनल फिल्म। For example, it can be 5 by 5 array. In that case, you have declared du in bracket 5,5 and dv in bracket 5,5, and then the d value, the revenue value also will have 5,5. So that is a 2-dimensional array. When you are declaring it, are you able to get?
Yes sir.
What I'm saying? शुरू में जो प्रोग्राम में वहाँ लिखा हुआ है dx dy du, तो उसमें du dy और d का array लिखना पड़ेगा, ओके। उसके बाद तुम जब पढ़ोगे तो तुमको उस हिसाब से डेटा भी दिखना पड़ेगा, रो वाइज, ओके। हाँ
सर, इसमें एडिशनल किया हुआ है, ये तो नॉर्मल डिवीजन है, हमें तो डिफरेंशिएट करना है ना, u को विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x dx के वो करना है ना डिफरेंशिएट। इसमें इसने नॉर्मल डिवीजन किया हुआ है।
इसने क्या किया कि रादर देन कैलकुलेटिंग द फाइनल डिफरेंस इंटरवल, कि डायरेक्टली d को असाइन कर दिया कोई वैल्यू, सबसे पहले तो तुमको यू और वी को असाइन कैलकुलेट असाइन करना पड़ेगा और रीड करना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद तुमको कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा। तो या तो देखता हूँ मैं, आई विल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट सम सैंपल प्रोग्राम फॉर यू एंड शेयर दैट विद यू। क्योंकि इसमें अभी दिस इज जस्ट ए वेरी सिंपल स्केलेटन थिंग, बट इसमें न तो तुम्हारा इंडेक्स बढ़ेगा, जैसे हमने बताया था तुमको कि इंडेक्स हैज टू इंक्रीज फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट एंड फ्रॉम बॉटम टू द टॉप, राइट। ये तो मैं पावर पॉइंट पे दिखा रहा था ना कि सपोज तुम्हारे पास 100 पॉइंट पर 100 पॉइंट है, तो यू हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द लोअर लेफ्ट कॉर्नर टू बॉटम एंड देन गो राइट, कैलकुलेट एट ऑल द पॉइंट्स, देन move to the next latitude, calculate all the points and so on. You have to calculate at all the latitudes. Okay, that is the way you have to do. तो उसके लिए तुमको यहाँ पे array define करना पड़ेगा, जैसे कि अब du और dv डायरेक्टली मत पढ़ो, you read u and v rather than reading du and dv, you read u and v। लेकिन u और v को तुमको array बना दो, u let us say 5,5 का array होगा और v भी 5,5 का array होगा, 5। Okay, so for each grid point then you will have a pair of values of u and v, उसको तुम पढ़ोगे, फिर तुम du कैलकुलेट करोगे rather than assigning it here, dv भी कैलकुलेट करोगे and then you will calculate du by dx plus dv by dy, तब जाकर के होगा, right? Are you all able to listen to me? कौन-कौन है? I see 5 people here.
Yes.
So Haritasri, Gitesh, Anish,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and who else? Najmi, और कौन है? Asna, बाकी लोग तो आए नहीं। So I mean, well, this is
सर वन मोर थिंग
yeah.
सर, ये जो डाटा जो न्यूमेरिक फॉर्म में जो डाटा आ रहा है, मतलब जो आउटपुट आ रहा है, इस आउटपुट को सर हमें ग्राफिक फॉर्म में आउटपुट चाहिए ना सर, न्यूमेरिक फॉर्म में नहीं चाहिए, ग्राफिक फॉर्म में। तो उसके लिए क्या करना होगा सर?
बात की बात है, पहले तुम्हें 2 डायमेंशनल फॉर्म में आउटपुट लेना पड़ेगा। वो तुमने डायवर्जेंस का वैल्यू कैलकुलेट किया है, तो द डायवर्जेंस वैल्यू एक्चुअली स्टोर्ड इन अ फाइल इन अ 2 डायमेंशनल फॉर्म। ओके, और उसके बाद तुमको उस डेटा को ग्राड्स की फॉर्मेट में लाना पड़ेगा, ग्राड्स का जो फॉर्मेट होता है उसमें लाना पड़ेगा, और तब जाकर के
नेटसीडीएफ फाइल में सर, ग्राड्स के लिए तो नेटसीडीएफ फाइल चाहिए, और हम यहाँ से नेटसीडीएफ फाइल जनरेट कर पाएंगे सर फोर्ट्रन से?
ग्राड्स के लिए नेटसीडीएफ फाइल भी क्रिएट करता है और ऑलरेडी फाइल भी क्रिएट करता है, ग्राड्स है सो मच ऑफ फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी। अर्लियर तो पहले था, आजकल पता नहीं बंद कर दिया है, but earlier it was actually able to read the binary files also, netcdf file also। तो तुम्हारे पास अगर binary data file है तो that जैसे ग्राड का जो फॉर्मेट होता है, उस ग्राड का फॉर्मेट में तुमको उस फाइल को लिखना पड़ेगा, और that is what is here। तो तुम प्रिंट जो तुम यहाँ पे दे रहे हो ना, प्रिंट कॉमा डी, this print comma d in your program file, you have to print in a file in a format, proper format which is the grads format, right? तब जाकर के वो grad format में store होगा, और when you run the grad then you will assign that file as a input for the grads, right? You will assign this file as a input to the grads, and then grads will be able to read that and then do the plotting that you want to. Okay, this is the way. So what I will do is I will try to find out some way out for you, shortcut, some small program examples maybe next time, and then I will show you those things, and then accordingly you can do on your laptop. Okay, and in the meantime, of course, you keep trying the way you guys are trying, like somebody trying directly to read the netcdf file, like Haritasri is doing that way. Okay, and you have also tried in another way. So you keep.
So the loops also, I got it, but I applied fully forward differencing. I didn't include central differencing, so I have to change that also. Yeah.
Okay, so fine. At least we tested one way.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the forward difference and the backward difference you can try at the boundary, as I was telling you, at the east-west and north-south boundary. But inside the area, inside the domain, you can use the difference.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so you try that way. So you keep trying, and maybe in the next class we shall discuss it further. Now, if required, we can discuss it in the regular theory class also. क्योंकि लगता है कि we are discussing just once in a week, then it's not sufficient, and because we are not interacting it here every day like face to face in a classroom kind of situation. So we may have to discuss it also during other classes someday. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So all right, for today I think that's it. Anybody else want to say something? Hitesh or Naveen?
Sir, Rahul's laptop died, so he couldn't join.
Oh, I see. Laptop. Okay. So all right, all of you, Ardasi, you are I think going in the right direction since you have been able to calculate the forward difference techniques. So you can do the similar things for the central difference for the intermediate points. Try that also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Anish also, that's so your example is okay, simple example, but जैसे मैंने कहा तुमको कि you have to define an array, u b का array define करना पड़ेगा, try to compute yourself, and then try to write the output in a file. And that file, of course, in the first step or first attempt, you can just write the initial value, but in the next step, you have to write that output into the graphs format, and you have to read what is the graphs format. Okay, Anish.
Yes, sir.
Right. So try that way. Gitesh also. Gitesh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you also can try the way Anish is trying it. That you find that simple. Otherwise, Hartasri is doing that. Let's video file reading directly. So that also you can try. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
so for today, I think we will stop and then we'll meet on Monday. Okay. And in the meantime, if I find something for you more simple example or illustration, then I'll show you on Monday. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Yeah, we stop for today. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
हेलो, हितेश।
हाँ भाई।